Oh, it's everybody's favourite subject, and everyone the place that everyone comes to watch Boldo's tiers and try and explain what a tier is. You see by Williams' reaction already, he still doesn't know what a tier actually is. But let's try and go through it. So last night, a bunch of Boldermans over an international Zoom had a big meeting, had a little midnight oil and a bit of casual breakfast Milo to review the data, the tapes, the decision making, the hype to bring you a stateside edition. That's right. Boldo's still stuck over New York. We're getting this stuff done. A bigger edition, a state of mind edition, a massage edition, a never sleeps edition. It's for the first ever New York edition of Boldo's Tears.
Oh, thank you for that introduction, Chris Kelly. And yes, this is Boldo's Tears, where we rank the top Sharks players based on the position they play, how much we play them, how we're feeling about them, what their cult status is. This is not the salary cap. This is not the Daly M scores. This is Boldo's Tears, who we think are the top players according to Boldo, and it is a special New York edition. So given that I am there, and hopefully none of our viewers from our podcast have actually robbed my house whilst I've been away, Kim Kardashian style, and taken all of my very valuable Sharks merchandise. All right, but let's get into it. Sharks top players, New York edition. Well, first up, we've got the friends, because there's 6 of them, and you're not really sure if they're really good characters or good players. They're kind of a little bit flawed, but you kind of like them. You want to see them go well. You know that as the show goes on, they get better. Firu Takamo, Burns, Beryl, Bradbury, and Gabriel make up the friends tier of Boldo's tiers. But as we know, Seinfeld is a little bit better than friends. So it's just sitting slightly above those players. We've got Kafusi, Dykes, Tapua, Hiroti. Hiroti's actually been in right form, I reckon, in the Jets team, and Jesse, who's sadly been a little bit injured. So that is the Seinfeld tier. On to the next. Williamsburg. Well, why are we calling these guys Williamsburg? That'd be Daniel Atkinson, Royce Hunt, and Stone Street. Williamsburg, kind of a cool area of New York. Kind of go over there a little bit. You're kind of happy to get there for a little bit. But actually, when you're there, you work out that there's just a whole bunch of Aussies there, and actually it's not that good a place to hang out with. And you don't want to be that trendy and cool. You kind of dip in and dip out of them, and you're not really sure if you like it or not. But we really know that the Manhattan is the main part of town. On to the next.
Good point, SJD. I was like, there's only 4 in Seinfeld. Who's Newman?
Yeah, that's right.
Say
that, SJD. Newman is 5. That's right. And I gave away the next one. This one's just a little bit sad, really. The Twin Towers, because Finucane and Trindle, well, they're gone. So, sadly,
come on,
around anymore.
Trindle's going to be back soon. Gosh, too soon.
They did rebuild one of the Twin Towers, so I guess Trindle will be back. But
here's a memorial.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's being here in New York. It does remind you of the tragic accident that happened to you, and it's a comedic thing times to make comment on stuff, but it is still a little bit sad being here and thinking about that. But yes, Finucane and Trindle, you are gone.
Comments, 2017, our honeymoon, we rock up at your place. You're living in Lower Manhattan, and you're like, oh, the 9/11 Memorial's just down there. Oh, yeah, we meant to do that. Yeah, let's do that before we can check into our hotel. So Lauren and I kicked off our honeymoon at the 9/11 Memorial, which is...
It's terrific.
It's terrific. It's a bit heart-wrenching. So, yeah, that was... Thanks for that. Good and bad recommendation to start a trip to New York. And then I think we saw the semi-final loss to the Cowboys the following night. But anyway.
Yeah, which is also annoying and tragic. All right, on to the next. Well, the Knicks, because the New York Knicks, well, they're outperforming what everyone kind of thinks. That's why we have Jesse Ramian, Cam McInnes, Kyle Hero, and Teague Wilton. They are performing better than we might have expected them to do. And so that's why we are calling them the New York Knicks. I think Kyle Hero's certainly come into the team and done a good job for us, and certainly surpassed my expectations on where he sits. He was a few tiers down. And then, look, Ramian and Cam, they continue to perform despite what we think of them. On to the next, Times Square. Well, this tier is made up of Blake Brayley and Will Kennedy. They're flashy. They're impressive. They're the thing you want to go to. But actually, when you've been around Times Square a little bit, you actually work out that Times Square is not that good either. And so are Brayley and Kennedy that good? Well, who knows? So that's the next tier. Columbia University is the next tier. We've got Ronaldo, Nakora, and Katoa. Why have we got those on this tier? Because the Columbian University people and all the universities around New York, well, those guys are fighting and arguing about all the different stuff and all the important subjects all the time. And so Ronaldo, Nakora, and Katoa, we just can't decide which player is better. So this week they've been put on the same tier. So that's why we have Ronaldo, Nikora, and Toa. On to the next. We have the big Empire State Building. Tommy Hazelton, the cult figure. It's the Empire State Building. It is a cult status item, as are you, Tom Hazelton. And you just need to score every single time you walk up the Empire State. So that's why.
She's not coming.
She's not coming. He's up the top. On to the next. The Guggenheim. Well, Nico, you're the Guggenheim. This is a kite elevation. Why the Guggenheim? The Guggenheim is an impressive building looking on the outside. Looks flashy. It's good looking. It's very beautiful. Also, all of the expensive stuff is on the inside of the Guggenheim. It's where all you get the expensive artwork. And we know, Nico, you're the most expensive player in the team. The problem with the Guggenheim is when you turn up, you're not sure which sort of collection you're going to see. And sometimes it's a little boring. And so you're not sure whether you're going to get the really good version of the Guggenheim or a not so good version of the Guggenheim. But, Nico, you are close to the top of the tiers. You're probably looking at this going, there's a couple of players missing here. Who's going to be top of the tiers? And that's because right now, the bench is top of the tiers because the strength of the Sharks team is built off the strength that we get off the bench. When these guys are coming off the bench, I think they're all in terrific form, and I'm calling them the Central Park of Boldo's New York tiers. They're massive. There's lots of them. You can go to them anytime. There's plenty of stuff you can do. They can play center. They can be a little bit out wide. God, let's get Talakai into 5'8". They're big, massive, part of the team that you cannot miss. And the reason why the Sharks are doing right now so well is the physicality and the brilliance off the bench of these four individuals. Talakai keeping his spot only just by a complication of the fact that I'm calling it the Boldo's bench tiers. That is the Boldo's New York tiers. It's just a masterpiece, isn't it? You got to admit, I've done well this time, fellas. This one was good.
Look, you started slow. I was a bit worried about the Friends and the Seinfeld because they're two iconic shows as part of New York and Australians love. And we still watch in this household nearly every night, both those shows. I caught Marley watching Friends on the plane home last night because we still watch them. It's great. Seinfeld was on again tonight. But then you came on fire. Like, you're throwing in the Knicks who are absolutely on fire. The Twin Towers, I've already got a message about, like, I can't believe you threw that in, but I was laughing my head off. And you know what? Central Park, well done. The bench is the top of the tier. The bench is just killing it. It's just, you are missing King Kong because Tommy is the Empire State Building. He is the absolute rock star of this team at the moment. He's the crowd favourite. So, you started soft.
King Kong.
I still think Williams is very confused about how this all works, but he's starting to get it. But, he came home very strong.
I got to admit, Chris, it was close between Tommy and Nico. I did have them. I just feel like, Nico's goal kicking is kind of gotten him over the line, but he's not quite top of the tiers yet, Nico. Matthew?
King Kong was Ben Hunt trying to tackle Hazelton on the weekend, like just jumping on him and having no effect whatsoever as Hazelton just stormed through. I don't even know if Ben Hunt tried to tackle him, but anyway, he's like similar stature, kind of different view. I'll take my hat off. This one makes sense. It's great. Similar to Kelly, I was worried about pulling Seinfeld and Friends out first. All I want to know is, where's the Soup Nazi tier? Oh, that's right. That's where Flano is. Just so angry. So angry, that man. I love the guy, but gosh. Exactly. No points for you. No win for you. So, yes. Well played. You're right. The bench is the strength. The bench is the difference, and I'm hoping the bench proves the difference over the next 6 weeks and beyond.
Franco, movements up or down? What's your take?
I mean, I thought Kelly was going to be grinning ear to ear as we got to Williamsburg, as it looked like a pyramid. But a quick count knew that couldn't continue and that the tiers were going to skew. Look, you're getting closer. I think you're getting closer. I think Brayley and Kennedy are a little bit hard done by there. But you're right. Who do you shift around? If you're going to keep the bench together, then it's hard to argue that they're at the top. I might say that maybe that's a bit of a cheat since it's not the same bench every week. But
it's a shame that Toby was injured this week because we have had. I woke up this morning thinking, like, damn it, that would have been good.
But grouping them in
helped.
together like that, you're right. That is a pretty formidable grouping and probably deserve to be at the top. I'm not sure I agree about sometimes getting a bit of a dud inside the Guggenheim. That's a pretty rare showing. I think Nico is just as beautiful inside as he is outside, and he's showing it with on and off the field performances for the Sharks. So, but he's getting there. He might get the top tier soon. Good stuff, Boldo.
I think if the Sharks are to win, we need Nico to be on the top of the tiers.
I think he's also done well because he's tugged at those heartstrings that we've all had like good memories over there in New York. So it's a good thing.
I've got to say though, I don't like Central Park. So
and I didn't make the trip to the Guggenheim. I was like, it's too far. I'm not going there.
Because you haven't done the Central Park tour with me, Franco. You do a Central Park tour with me. It'll be very romantic. I'll walk you around. I'll show you where the Ghostbusters building actually is and not one that you make with a mistake. I'll show you where John Lennon got shot to show you all that stuff. Show you where
Boldo and I, when we went to the Empire State Building, it was night time and about minus 30 degrees upstairs.
It was that.
Wind, so it was horrendous.
It certainly was that. All right, well, that was Boldo's Tears this week. Do get your comments in. We'll put those up on socials. Let us know what you think. Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Who do you think are the Sharks' top players right now?